Now that odor, that smell, you can smell that odor, right? That's garbage. It's right over there. The first thing I'll point out is the casino here. It's on still. It's so stylish. Oh yeah, I've never used it.
I guess you met Travis? That's Travis. Anyway, we're going to do a little safety. My name's Ed, and on the very back when you came up, on my left-hand side, you probably know that white container. That's a life raft, and very tight and never tie it on top, so it'll work for you. So anyway, so it goes good with all your clothes, your hairstyle. If you go in our waters today, guaranteed. Shark teeth on the front. Nobody likes seeing that in their rearview mirror. So we painted this beautiful frog on the side, and to celebrate the amphibious nature of the vehicle, of the Harbour, most boisterous rivet. So if you guys are ready, we're going to practice. So rivet like no one's watching on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Rivet! Fantastic riveters, guys. That's pretty awesome. So let me tell you about this beautiful city of mine, of ours. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Get a little action going on, but still only about 1,000 people showed up to Halifax. Not what they were looking for. They really wanted to hit it hard. So they got back in the thing. 1, 2, 3. Rivet! When the victims of the Titanic were brought in from the cold, icy Atlantic Ocean, all their bodies were brought here for all sorts of services and things. That's a good place to get a stiff drink, if you catch my drift. You guys, I live on the back side of the building. Thank you. Now, also along here on Argyle Street, got a brand new restaurant. She'll be opening up today, Pippa. So as you got the foggy goggle, of course you guys can see above the shoe shop there, ex-girlfriend keeping an eye on me. But of course Of course you do. Of course you do. Now you guys, like I said, lots of cool little spots in there. To Halifax Academy now is filled up with NASCAR students. Are you guys ready for this? I said, are you guys ready for this? So I'm talking about Citadel Hill, second most mentioned National Historic Site in Canada, second only to the Parliament buildings. Okay, punctual guy. Didn't want anybody to have an excuse for being late. The 80s, so if you held your arms out at shoulder length on top of the hill, no building could be any taller than that, so enjoy that. Then we got the Metro Center plate. So the original telegraph system, you can see those 2 discs hanging on those 2 strands there, as well as the flag on top. Each one of those is allowed to send messages, or is used to send messages all the way across our province. I wish they did. Over here, if you really want to spend some cash, Mills Brothers, the oldest department store in Eastern Canada. The ex-girlfriend works up there. She's a pretty cool lady. Pretty awesome spot, though. Classic department store. War of 1812. He was a British loyalist that tried to burn the White House down. Now, the White House right down there near the British sailor dockyards, and sell 5,000 cases of beer a day just to the Navy. So that's why it's been built here, and that's why you can just go in. Bayside buggy. That's all I gotta say. So anyways. They give me deals on my food. Anyways, over there. No, I'm just joking. They don't. Back there at Southern Place, you guys. Like I said, all these world leaders all gathering together. And one day just before lunch, they decide, hey, let's go down those front steps. Let's do a little photo op. Everybody stand all together. So what they did, security was kept at the absolute most. We used to have a Volvo factory at the west end of our city. Just they loaded some onto a boat. 45 of them got damaged. 1969. Watch them off the side. So anybody wants to go in, I offer every tour. I got a couple of snow ships there to try and put a dent into it. This fence is supposed to slice us up on the way. People say it's a little bit redundant because, I mean, wouldn't you just fire some missiles at the ship from a kilometer away if you wanted to do something? Who knows? They're the Navy, they can do whatever they want. Now, at the end of this documentary, you see the ladies and
for that? Well, they're like a little city out on the ocean. They got all sorts of types of firepower on board, all sorts of supplies. They've got over 100 kilometers of meter diameter pipe, 1,000 kilometers big crazy cable, and even generators on board, powerful enough to plug into a city's power grid in the event of an emergency and power half of the downtown core or 1,300 homes. So it's quite the ship. Now, what makes them really important is their range. They can go over 7,100 nautical miles per fill-up, and they also hold in the back of them 2 huge long-range Sea King helicopters. So they're pretty much like a little Canadian island out in the middle of the ocean when they're out there. Played a huge role in protecting North America, or protecting North America during the Cold War. Now down there, those 2 700 class boats, it's kind of like the jack of all trades of the Canadian Navy. Those guys do lots of patrolling and minesweeping and stuff like that. So we got a lot of those here in Halifax. Actually, 70% of the Canadian Navy is docked right here in Halifax. So, like I said, it's a pretty big thing. Now along the November Charlie there, you can see one of our destroyers, one of the bad boys, much like myself, of the Canadian Navy. Pretty cool spot. Now, you guys see these yellow cords there? They suck up the cold water, pump it out of the sides, then they sink it right down. Then one of the subs will go on those rollers in the middle, they'll float it back up, and they'll push it forward, and that's what's in all that tarping there. It's another one of our Victoria-class nuclear subs. Right there, we got the HMCS Toronto, right there. Now, right there, you guys, that is the beautiful Angus L. McDonald Bridge. If you're feeling daring, you can go walk across that and get nice pictures of the city. Now, I say daring because I've been on overpasses before that have been all caged in. Not that puppy, the railing's about this high, so they get a little bit dicey when you're up there, kind of scary. And right over with too. It's actually called a Corvette, so if any of you drive one of those, your cars are named after those boats. And what they used to do is they used to patrol for sale. That is. Now, here in Halifax itself, the shockwave killed 2,000 people, but an estimated 1,500 people, they were all gathered right along the harbour front here, were actually swept out to sea by the tidal surge that came out from the explosion. It's a really horrible thing. Now, also, because of all this munition was all these big, huge hunks of metal that went flying all across our city in a 30 square kilometer basis and lit everything in its path on fire. So, to make matters worse, if they could get any worse, by about mid-afternoon, close to 3 feet of snow had fallen here across Halifax, just paralyzing our city. Now, luckily enough, and you guys hold on as we're going out here, it might be a little bumpy again. In any case, Vince Coleman, the operator of our train station in the north end of our city, he knew exactly what was going on, so what he did is he had sent a telegraph message to a train that was coming in from Boston before the Mont Blanc exploded, telling them to stop as soon as they could, stay as far away from Halifax. If you're familiar with the Canadian Heritage Moment, there were 700 people on that train that he saved. Now that message carried down the telegraph line all the way to Boston. When they heard about this, they felt so grateful that what they did immediately, once they heard about our distress, is they sent up trainload after trainload of supplies and soldiers and doctors and food and all that stuff. Joe Howe actually had some illegitimate British children, and I guess what he's doing there is he's trying to ward off British ships carrying his kids and these angry women coming in here to Halifax. It just says right on that front, you don't want to ride the Harbour again because I'm not doing another tour today. You can head over to Theodore 2. Now, let me tell you too, if you guys are familiar with the show, it was Charter's show ran through episodes, kind of mid-90s. It was actually based here in the Halifax Harbour. So you go out on that guy for about an hour and a half, you go float around the harbour and go and meet all of Theodore's friends from the show in real life. Oh, you've done it before, haven't you? Oh, you love them. Now, right over there, you guys, we got our beautiful, beautiful Harbour Queen. It's a Mississippi River boat. There's party cruises at the nighttime. So it sits pretty drunk in the daytime, but as the lights go down, the record starts spinning, the booze starts flowing, and guys aged 20 to 30 fall overboard. It's actually got accredited with the most man overboards of any boat in the harbour. Now, along here, you guys, this is the Murphy's Restaurant on the Cable Bar. Just been to see that. Pretty awesome spot. Great restaurant, unobstructed views of the harbour. And you guys, like I said, great exhibit on the Titanic, Halifax explosion, and the original 7th Theodore tugboat. I'm sure you've been there and checked that out. But that's actually their largest exhibit right there, the CSS Acadia. CSS stands for Canadian Science Ship, and that was actually the only ship in the harbour that survived the explosion. It was tucked way off in a little cove. We're the only surviving ship from World War II. Let's give those guys a ribbon on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Now, oh, and of course, I got my yacht docked up next to that. I'd like to stay close to work. In any case, that boat there, they Harbour, go on this side.